We tackle the topics America just ain't ready for. Too strong.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. We really appreciate you tuning in with Too Strong today, where Too Strong is always better than one. Excuse me. I know that today we got a 6 o'clock show, and we also have an 8 o'clock show. Excuse me, but we decided to do it because of the importance of the information, to give some insight on what Ukraine is going through, because of Russia and Russia's invading Ukraine. So we want to talk a little bit about that and give our thoughts on it. But today it'll mainly be Merlin. Merlin has researched this and dug into this deeply and intensely. So if you have any questions, put them up, and I will try to get your question on the board so that you can get it answered, because it's a lot to this. He was talking to me a little bit about some of the things in the studio, and it's just so much we weren't even able to discuss it all, because it is a lot. It is a lot, and he has really dug into it, and it all comes around to make a whole lot of sense. Let me get this off too. I regretfully say that um, I didn't think that Russia was going to invade Ukraine, and I said that, and I said it online. But I also said that I wasn't sure, and if I'm wrong, I would get on here and say I'm wrong. Okay, so here it is. I was wrong. I was hoping I was right for many reasons, multiple reasons, and we'll talk about some of these. And it's a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, like, be the one to try to inflict fear, none of that nature. But we must be prepared, mentally and spiritually prepared. That's the key. If we can be mentally and spiritually prepared for this, then we'll be all right. But it is also good to know what's going on, and how this thing is kind of playing out. And so we're gonna jump right into it, man. So if you all could do us a favor and like and share this video, it'd be greatly appreciated. And also, I think that tomorrow, we didn't, like I said, we didn't get a chance to finish discussing it, but tomorrow we're going to discuss the things about the predicament that Biden has put this country in by some of the things that he's done when he got in. And I think that Merlin was going to talk a lot about that today too. But we discussed it, and we agreed that that would be like a whole lot to discuss with what's going on and all of that too. So he might touch on it, but then tomorrow we'll do a separate show to talk about these things and go over them separately. So we appreciate you all tuning in, and we'd appreciate if you hit the like button and hit the share button so that we can get this information out to as many people as possible. And so now we're gonna move on with the show. So what's up, Merlin? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm good today.
Yeah.
We have quite the predicament on our hands in terms of the Russia situation with Ukraine. Um, and for people who might be thinking it's not happening and it's all hearsay, I have this to say. I only have this. This is just people giving footage, giving information live there on the ground, people going through it. They know what's happening there. So, yes, there are bombs going off, and yes, there are many casualties happening. Um, Putin is on the verge of taking Kiev. He has taken Chernobyl. And if you know anything about Chernobyl, that's a problem. He's already threatened nuclear if certain people intervene. We know that Biden and the UN have put sanctions on the Russian government and kicked out some of their high-ranking officials out of the embassies. However, the sanctions they put on only limit Russia's reach with money, and very superficially. They make it sound like it's a whole lot, because what he did, he said it, and then he harped on all the money and the money and the money, but it didn't touch the main thing, which was a SWIFT account. The SWIFT account that they have over there is, and what can enable them to move money back and forth with no problem. It is the biggest link that they have to the monetary system. Then they didn't touch the energy sector, which would have crippled Russia in its place, and they couldn't be able to do certain things. Didn't touch that. They couldn't touch that because if they did, then we would be suffering with oil prices rocketing through the roof. Now, if you remember, we had a president before who made us energy efficient and uh, independent, right? If he was still there and we still had that going on, any type of sanction could be placed on Russia and not have a worry because we wouldn't need them and we wouldn't worry about the cost of gas or oil because we would be controlling that ourselves. When he controls that now and with the Nord Stream going forward, now Russia has all the control of anything they do over there will now affect us if we decide to mess with them. All of this thanks to a certain wet muppet in power. I'm not even going to call his name anymore. That'd be giving him too much credit to call him a human. He's subhuman at this point to me.
How much damage can actually be done to the Russian economy with the sanctions that he did
No,
put on him?
nothing.
I mean, because he claimed that I mentioned it earlier to you that he put a freeze on their largest bank account that they use here in the states.
Now, if let me put it to you this way: you're a drug dealer, and somebody put a freeze on your bank account. Does that stop anything of your function? It stops the clean money, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's Russia. They don't have they still have the ability to put all their money, transfer anything they want from any currency to any currency because SWIFT is still open.
Yeah, and then common sense tells me too, Merlin, that let's just say that he did put a sanction on him, and he was able to freeze their money to where it really messed up the economy. Well, then if that's the case, then you might as well just start up a war because you know what's going to happen. So the fact that he saying that he's not going to go to war with Russia lets us know that he really not doing nothing that's too damaging, because like you don't decide if you're going to fight somebody if you smack them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They have this, they decide if they're gonna fight you. If you smack somebody, they decide if they're gonna fight you or not. You don't just sit there and say, well, I'm just smack you and then we're not gonna fight. So he claiming that he's smacking him, but then it's really like he just kind of like swinging, knowing that he's telling, okay, Putin, I'm really not trying to hit you. So he pump faking, in other words, acting like he want to do something, but he really don't. That's the impression that I'm getting.
Um, I could say yes. Um, this is what you call a fake show of power. Plain and simple, it's a fake show of power. It's like telling the okay, so you have a bully on the playground and you go to every teacher and you tell the teacher, oh, look, he's bullying me. He's bullying, him, bullying. Knowing that the teachers are during class right now. They can't do anything about the bully. The bully's still free to run. But you did tell the teacher. That is that is one step to take.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything.
Wow. So what do you in your mind, how does China tie into all of this? And what
China
about
is go ahead.
and what about the cabal? Because people keep asking questions about the cabal, like he went in there to
I'm not that
yeah,
particular
that's a
thing,
whole
that's a whole nother kettle of fish. I'm dealing with the stuff that we can tangibly see,
yeah, because
and you can
that's getting more into the conspiracy side,
yeah,
right?
and I'm not saying it's not happening.
Right.
I'm just saying that
Factual.
takes that's yeah, unproven right now. Even though I know, yes, he's targeting US bio labs over there, that's still another reasons why, don't know. We kinda do, but we kinda don't, if you know what I mean. China now is circling Taiwan. Now, if you remember the whole talk about China and Taiwan, it's not a nation, it's not real. The same thing that now Putin is trying to do to Ukraine. So you have this model now that's gonna get set up. If we invade a country that's gonna get wiped out by us if we invade it, and then you have the UN trying to put sanctions. Remember, who has the most power in the UN right now? Anyway, it's China. They you can't touch China. They've put themselves too much at the head of the UN. When they passed the new deal that they did, the Paris Accord, China was the least affected by all the things that they were trying to put for other people to do. They never pay for anything, and they never get sanctions, and then they don't have to do any of the cleanup that they require everybody else to do. They're not touchable. So if they decide to go in and get Taiwan wiped out, the US can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Look at that question real quick. And then I want to ask you about something else. That missing submarine showed up on the east coast of America. This is not good. I think they're talking about the submarine that was hidden for a while, the Russian one,
Hmm.
and we didn't allegedly we never even knew it was there.
Of course, we didn't know. Nobody knew it was there.
Yeah.
I was talking to Corey. Okay, so now you have Russia moving across all of Ukraine. They're about to take Kiev. Okay, now you have China if they decide to take Taiwan. You have the UN and the US can't do anything about it. You got that militant clown up there in Canada who already has strong ties to China. You have an open border on the south to Mexico, where we know Chinese and Russian military is already down there. If this goes south, you have an open America on both sides, and then you have an idiot in chief who isn't willing to deploy anything to do anything about it. Now, remember, he's put his hands to be tied by both UN policy, US policy, and he's kind of limited himself to only sanctions. What are you going to do when both your borders are open and all you can put down is sanctions? You can't do anything at that point. You put yourself in a position where you're a lame duck person. There isn't anything you can do at this point.
Let me ask you a potentially difficult question.
Hmm.
I know that it's always two sides to a story, to every
Hmm.
story. And I'm just trying to leave my mind open. Not as far as how it affects us, this whole thing with the war is affecting the United States. I'm not speaking on that right now. I'm saying, do you feel that Russia did the right thing for their country by invading Ukraine?
Power
Or or
wise, yeah.
or instead of asking that, what is the pros and the cons? What would have been the pros and the cons for Russia?
The pros only lie with the Russian government. Cons lie everywhere else. Okay, let's not get it twisted. As much as Putin might be a mastermind, and we might look at him and say, "Oh, he's not part of this." Not, he is still the kind of person that you don't want to rule. He is not a safe human being.
No.
I don't care how much you might revere, and look, Putin ain't safe. If Putin wants people out of life, he does stuff to get rid of them. Let us not get this twisted. He not only does he do it, he'll tell you he's doing it. He is a true. If you think America does
No, he a
gangsterism
gangster.
on a low key, and you have to search to find it, and sometimes it'll flap in your face. We're talking about the mafia kingpin here. We are talking about he will walk up to you in the middle of a store, shank you, and shake off the blade and walk away. That's Putin. He wouldn't care what you see and what you don't see. He's not trying to hide nothing.
Yeah.
He said as much while Trump, but he couldn't do anything because Trump played it smarter than he did. Trump closed off international business to solve our problem so that we could do things internationally that we couldn't do before. Now we have opened that whole crap back up. We have allowed America now to become the sitting duck. We can't do anything internationally because we have no power over there. We pulled out all our forces out of Afghanistan prematurely, leaving them with weapons. We have now taken off all the power that we could possibly or leveraging we had over Russia when we took away our energy independence. We have now done everything in our power to make ourselves the weakest nation with the biggest military.
Yeah. So what if okay, so once Putin get done with Ukraine and take that over and he got access to all these weapons
Mhm.
and all this power and positioning, by the way, what would stop them from attacking us next?
They won't go to us next. They'll go to Israel next.
Right, but I'm saying, but what would stop them from coming to the United States?
Nothing but Israel. That's why they have to go there first. If they take out on their way down, take out all of the forces and then wipe out Israel
Mhm.
and take Israel out, then you will see real problems. Now,
Yeah.
the on the economic and political side of things, that would make Russia now the superpower. On the biblical side of things, that would usher in Armageddon because he's now wiped out most of the eastern countries in in a march across them.
Oh wait. So Biden again claims that Russia had a market crash. We don't know about that, and I don't know how
How
much
you would
relevance that
who
has
gonna
anyway.
tell you that? But even if their
Yeah,
market cra you
what
think right now he's concerned about the market?
right. Yeah, that don't have a big that's just something that he's saying to make people feel like he
He done
did
something.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like some people might not be as knowledgeable about things like that. And I'm not saying I'm the super knowledgeable guy about that, so don't get it twisted. But I do know enough to know that their market, it don't have nothing to do with nothing. I mean, he's still going to go to war. He's still got the people to fight the war. They still got the weapons, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he can quit with that market talk that he talking. It really don't. I just don't see how it affects so much what his point is. Like, I don't get that.
No, you
Um,
yeah, and you're right. What if okay, I'm marching. I've been planning this invasion since the middle of Trump's presidency. Now remember that Putin had talked about going into Ukraine in the middle of the Trump presidency. Trump squashed that quick because of the policies that he put into place, even in the middle of them calling him a Russian asset. Now, I want you to think of how much strategy you have to be able to shut down a conspiracy, people telling you work for somebody by putting literal sanctions on them that kept them from doing certain things while you're making deals with the rest of the world to maintain your energy independence. Now,
mm,
what?
no, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. So now you have a person in power now who, and I mean the instant he got in there, Putin already said, "I'm not talking to you."
Right.
If you remember correctly, that as soon as
Yeah,
that
that's what he
and then
said.
Biden was all like, "Oh, he'll talk to me. He just doesn't understand how powerful I am." Have you actually told him that? No, I don't need to tell him that. Biden has no power internationally. He has no power in America. He has zero presidential powers available to him right now.
Yeah, this dude is leaving us vulnerable. Thank God for the things that Trump did do, because we would be even more vulnerable. And he listen, Biden, this dude is. You know what? I'm so disgusted with this dude. We tried to tell this to people and people didn't understand, and everything that people said was going to happen while Trump was in office is happening now. You know what I'm saying? We are in a bad situation. um I think he's about to step down pretty soon. Oh, hopefully he is about to. Even during this time, man, the dude is like, if you look at him, he got fear written all over his face. He's scared of this dude. Um, so Scott said, "Go to war. Everyone forgets what took place in Canada and Australia, because America is next. America is next for what? For war? Maybe. I don't know. Um,
Now,
I,
the the
go ahead.
the f-
Go ahead.
the flip side here that's going on, I want to focus on what's going on over there as opposed to the ramifications over here. You have 137 confirmed dead in Ukraine, more than 300 injured. Um, they've already taken Serpent Island, and all of the military defenders in Zimini have died. None of them surrendered. They all did. All the military that was there were already killed in the attack that Russia put on. Um, so what they're doing is systematically removing all of the military sites. Not even if they were going after the biolabs, they're taking out strategically all of the military strongholds before they move completely in. Now they're already in Kiev. If they are in Kiev and they've managed to take Kiev, that is it once and done right there. So now, if you go and watch how Putin does this, he's already called out Israel for building in the Golan Heights. You're not even finished with the war you're doing in Ukraine. And he's already turned his attention, which is why I said he has to take them out. He's already turned his attention to Israel. In Israel right now, they're protesting Putin at the embassies, and many people are burning their passports at multiple Russian embassies around Ukraine, Israel, and in the Gaza. They're already doing that. Do you think it would be any trouble for Putin to continue marching? Now, he takes Ukraine. He takes all of their infrastructure, all their money. Do you think he's going to worry about sanctions at that point? Not a he ain't got to worry about.
No, he can care less because he got another mission in mind.
Yeah, he's already threatened nuclear. Okay, he's already said it is not beyond Putin to start the next nuclear. It's not problematic for him.
Oh, so I didn't know he did that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just recently, he's already threatened the use of nuclear power.
On who?
Whoever,
He said whoever.
whoever.
I noticed that a lot of people is calling this whole thing a smoke screen.
Hmm.
I don't see it as that. Um, I see this as a real thing, but I could be wrong. What are your thoughts, Marlon?
Well, everything's a smokescreen for something.
Yeah, see, as I'm thinking about smoke screen to what though?
Yeah.
Is what is
And
what
so if people are trying to say, and I know where they're trying to go with it, Russia is working on behalf of the to get the cabal down, and the smokescreen is a war to keep you distracted. And the same way with UN is trying to take, they're trying to make sure Russia looks bad. And look, Russia is bad.
Hmm.
They're still a bad actor. I don't care how you paint it. China's a bad actor. The US is a bad actor. The only innocent people in all of this are the people, the ones not in government. That's the only innocent people in all of this. Um, Always going to be a smokescreen somewhere. Are we going to look at the fact? Well, okay, well let's run down a small hole. Say Ukraine is hiding all the Biden papers, and if Biden gets out, if that all gets out, his whole presidency, you're thinking that somehow the Biden presidency is the problem here. The system, and Trump mentioned this, that allowed it to be happening, that he even got in the first place, is what we should be worried about. But we're not worried about that. They're not worried about that. The smokescreen is not even to hide that. If they take all the information that they get from Ukraine and dump it on the public, you think anyone's going to believe it because Russia put it out? You think anyone's going to believe that? How possible is it for say what happened if Putin dumped all the info he got out of Ukraine? No one's going to believe him
Right.
because he works for Trump. He's manufacturing this. That's how they're going to spin it. He
That's a good
can't go
point.
in and dump anything right now coming out of Ukraine. So that can't be the plan.
Well, you debunked what I was going to. You debunked my thought, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And what you said make 100% sense. I was going to say what is the chances of Biden, not Biden, Putin bringing forth all these papers about Biden, getting him out of there, and somehow Trump get back in, and then they work this thing out and it gets settled. But what you said, it make all the sense in the world. Who's going to believe Putin if he present anything? It's just going to be a whole, oh, he made this stuff, he created these documents. Nobody's ever going to believe it. And I just don't think that the United States government is going to do anything about getting Biden out of there. It's just too much. You know what it is, man? It's just too much politics.
Mhm.
It's just too much. And at some point, man, I think that I almost want to say I think we need to figure out a way but there's no way. I mean, I've come to the conclusion, man, like there's nothing to do. Like the only thing to do is to know what's going on, be informed, be prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually, and go from there, because it's like it's done got too far. It's done gotten way too far. And I think that even the people that helped get us to this point are now starting to realize, oh man, we messed up. But it's like the robber's gone now. They're on the highway. You don't know which way they went. It's over. You got to kind of start over and try to build things from scratch in a sense, because they listen, the Biden administration, let's just face it, man. I'm gonna say something that people would hate for me to say, but they are just too powerful. They're too powerful right now. And you can say, and I know I'm looking for it in the timeline to start saying I'm wrong, and that's fine because everybody can feel how they feel. But if they not too powerful, then what's the problem with stopping them?
Now, it okay, I'm gonna give my take on my own
Mhm.
conspiracy theory, okay? He can't harm Putin because Putin's already threatened him with the informational release that in Ukraine. Now, if he can't release but the flip side is, but if even if the Biden information gets released by Putin, no one's really gonna believe it. Because here's what happened. While that might be true over there, that there's information out there, in America, the media and everybody else and the school system have done a really good job of making quite a few Americans dumb. Take, for instance, they dropped that laptop in our laps. You saw video, you saw texts, you saw emails with Biden attached to them. We here in America managed to suppress every ounce of that laptop before the election. Even if Putin dumped that information, none of it would get back to American ears. While all of that might be going over there, there are people here who have managed to completely hide not just wrongdoing by the government, murders by the government. And if you really think that somehow this is going to come back to us restoring America, I've told you this before, and this is where Corey and I disagree. It ain't gonna get no better. The reason I believe it's not gonna get any better is because if you look at this, what happens here? Say Russia takes out Ukraine, takes out Israel. What better is there to come if America has lost its superpower status in the world? How can we get back anything good if Russia decides America's next?
Um, I don't have the I wouldn't have the answer to that. And I'm not gonna even act like I have the answer to that except for
God,
God.
yeah,
Now, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you know how I am, Marlon. When I don't know, I
I
will
don't
just say,
know.
I don't know. Like I am the I don't know man. Like if you ask me and I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. Or I tell you what I think. You know what I'm saying? But if I say I know, believe you me, I know. And I don't know how this is gonna play out. I just know that I strongly believe that God has a plan and it's gonna play out. Of course, it's gonna play out the way He wants to, but I think part of the plan is to bring us back. Um, that's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this though. I hear that they are, in fact, I think I heard it from you. Yeah, that Russia, the citizens are protesting against Putin. How does that is that true, and how does that
They're
affect?
doing it in other countries where they are
Okay,
at
I got
embassies. They've already been
you.
arrested um, in a couple of places. Um, if I can find that video here, I have it. Um, okay, so I have the passport burning and protesters arrested.
Um,
That because I
so
want people to
basically,
see.
they sending a message that we ain't never coming back. It's over.
Yeah, they're not going back to Russia. They've denounced Russia over all of this. Um, and I don't think Russia cares. Like I said,
I
this
was
is a
say Putin
power
don't give a
grab.
dang. He don't care.
This is a power grab, and he's on a mission to get what he needs to get procured despite people, okay? Despite people.
Interesting, Caragina.
Yeah, they will. That's next. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
100%. They've already said that they're looking at how to do it.
yeah.
UN can't touch him. I said, the UN can't touch him the same way the UN can't touch Russia.
Wow.
They ain't gonna do nothing. Now,
What?
remember the UN is trying to get rid of America too. And there's a reason why they like Biden.
Yeah.
They are crippling American government. They've already won with Canada. Canada's already underwater.
Listen,
Truckers, I love you, but as long as Trudeau's in there, you're underwater.
listen, everybody. I want to say this. Please do not attach any links to this in the comment section. Reason is because we do not know where the links came from. We do not know what the links are about, and we don't want any of that stuff attached to our channels because that could cause us problems. So, if you will, please do not put any more links in the comment section. We understand that everybody want to be the first to know and give out the information. We get that. But please do not put any links in the comment section. Thank you very much.
If you protest outside any embassy, you're going to get arrested. If you protest anywhere outside Russia right now, anywhere at an embassy that Russia has control over, you're going to get arrested. Now, in Tel Aviv, they're doing this. They are all lighting their passports on fire because they stand with Ukraine. Now, the long-lasting ramification of all of this is that people, and this is the only thing I can think is positive. But then again, it's not really because the people can't do a whole lot. People are waking up to this whole global agenda of this one push for one. Now, I said before that they want the U.S. to fall because we're still the strongest Christian nation on earth right now. The Muslims have already taken over the UK. They've already taken over most of the other countries. While they don't have him as the main religion, they've already taken over in terms of what you can and can't say. It's already coming that way right now here.
Absolutely.
So you take out America, Russia and China, the dragon and the bear, they combine forces. You no longer have the eagle. You're trying to create a one world populace. They no longer have to worry about America. Now you can do it because they were the last person standing in the way of having a currency based on one. That is my conspiracy theory. But that conspiracy theory is based on what I can decipher from scripture. That's
Yeah.
all. I'm not saying what is happening on timeline. I'm telling you what I know the end goal has to be. So when I look at things like Russia happening, and I look at how they're strategically doing it, and when they decided to do it, they didn't do it when Trump was there. They couldn't do it when Trump was there. They had to do it when somebody who they, one, could hold over the fire, and two, was weak enough to not do anything about it. Now, remember, this has been going on. He didn't do it before COVID. He didn't do it during the height of COVID. He did it after COVID has been going on for a while. We are shut down. International travel's banned already. So there's a whole lot of things. This man, when I said Trump wasn't wrong when he called it a genius move.
Right.
He wasn't wrong. You can literally look. You can look at your enemy and know when. Damn, that was chess.
That was a good move. Yeah.
Heck, the election was genius.
Mm-hmm.
On the part of the Democrats, genius.
Genius.
Change the laws, genius.
Yeah.
Mail-in, genius.
It's the same thing, man. In the basketball game, somebody might get a good shot. You'd be like, "Good shot, man." You
Mhm.
know, your other teammates might not want you saying that to them, or giving them that kind of credit.
Props
But
are props, bro.
yeah, sometimes it's just, I mean, it's real. Now, I strongly, and I say I strongly disagree with Trump blurting that out like that. I wish he
Oh,
could have.
I was supposed to tell you. The context was, what do you think about it? It's like, well, I'm sure this is because of Biden thinking, oh, that was great. That when Putin described the territories as independent, and Putin would say, oh, that's amazing. So he was talking from the position of Putin and Biden, and waiting till Trump was out of office was a brilliant move.
Yeah,
How he did it was, and he's not talking about that Putin was so brilliant in the fact that he's doing it, is his timing was absolutely militarily genius. And it was. If you know I'm going to do something that will make me lose, if that guy is in front of me, I'm not doing it. If that guy turns his back on someone else is watching me and I know I can take out, I'm going to do it.
that's right. You
It's
got, hey,
genius.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
genius.
it's true. It's true. Um, do you feel that the United States still has the strongest military, despite not being in the best position right now?
Yeah. As terms of technology, yeah. Manpower, yeah. Kind of. That's debatable, especially if he keeps taking courses.
Yeah.
um, willpower, yeah. Um, but now the flip side is this: how many of us in the military, or the people, American people, I mean, not, I'm not in the military, I mean American people in the military, knowing what they know, will fight?
Say it again. Repeat that, Merlin,
How
please.
many people knowing right now what's going on and that are in the military will still fight?
In the United States military.
Yeah, because they've already been messed with the vax, right? They've already been pushed around with that. They've been messed with when we came to Afghanistan. Biden is not really a leader. Now, Russia is building up their forces to become stronger. Now, if we had to go up against China and Russia, we're hosed. We're not going to be able to stand up to that. I don't care how much firepower we have. We're not. We're not going to be able to do it. We don't have the equipment to fight both. We don't have the resources to fight both, and we don't have the manpower to fight both. That's not possible.
Yeah.
Our generals now are half man, half woman. Just think
Oh
about
God.
that.
Yeah. Don't Merlin.
Okay. So
Please,
now, how
please.
much tragedy do you think we can really make
You
happen
know, please
with
don't
that
bring that
as
up
power?
because I ain't gonna be able to sleep, man. Don't bring that up. That's the,
Okay, now think. Look, someone just said it. Look, someone said it.
oh God, man.
Like, come on. Like, we used to be. You remember when you said the few, the proud, the Marines, right? They used to be like, you used to think about a Marine and think never mess with those people.
Yep.
Now they don't carry the same weight. They don't carry
Oh,
the same gravitas. They don't have it. America's military. Hey, Cass. American military is no longer the same power structure they used to be. They don't have the kind of leadership that we're supposed to have. We don't have the same draw or scary tactics that we used to deploy. We're no longer feared, and Biden won't deploy.
oh boy.
Now, if you're going to talk about the other military we have, them people, if it comes to that, will have to be the next line. And I think you know which military I'm talking about. And that military is about 150 million strong. Now,
We
that's an army that they cannot necessarily run over, but that requires us to really come together, which is why they have been pushing for the divide for so long. If you can make the divide in America more prominent than the unity, anytime an invasion happens, you won't have blades of grass anymore. You'll have patches.
and then and that's so unfortunate because that's a lot of blood that's gonna get shed if it come down to that. Um, I want to take some calls, but before I do, I want you to touch on the situation with the border and how you can just come through it so easily. And I know this for a fact, y'all. I'm telling you for now. Remember, when I say I know, I strongly believe, or I think, I'm telling you now what I know. You can get through the border.
Hmm.
So the chances of China and Russia already having some people already here on the ground are very high.
It's 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just
Hmm.
let's just go ahead and tell like it is. It's 100% right. So we've already known that they've approximated over what millions of people that came through the border already.
Hmm.
So just imagine how many troops could come because of how easy it is to do it because of Biden. Now, this whole thing was laid out, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it because Merlin got a whole thing on this. But this whole thing is late was laid out in the beginning. That's the reason why he did not ever want to get that wall up. How can you make any sense out of don't put a wall up to protect the country? That just don't make no sense. If I tell my wife, baby, the locks on the door is not working. I think we need some new locks. And she keep insisting, no, no, we don't. No, we don't. That only tells me that she planned on somebody coming in here and killing me or doing something. Lock the doors. And he refused to do it. And now we got all kind of people here on the ground. So I'm telling you this too. I believe that it's a lot of people here that really got bad intentions that's on our soil right now.
Okay.
So,
So this just in, right? So, yeah, it's so funny that you talked about that, the border, right? Um, Brazil
mhm.
just deauthorized its vice president for saying that Brazil opposed Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, if that's the case and there are Russian assets in Brazil, I hope you know the math of where Brazil is and how easy it is to go from there to here.
Who? I just told you. You
Okay?
know, I told you.
Okay.
I know
So
for a
now
fact.
so now we know men, adult men, have been coming over the southern border for the last year and a half. Not children necessarily, yes, they are, but they're being trafficked over. We're talking about men being allowed through on buses, on planes. Men, military-aged men. Now, they've also deployed there are, Muslim sympathizers to the Russian army being deployed to clean up right now in Ukraine. Clean up. I want you to understand what clean up would be. If I'm going through to clean up, which means if you're still alive,
I'ma
you
clean
you
you
you're
up.
no longer
Yeah, we
alive.
gonna get you going to get you finished
It's
off.
cleanup. They're
Yeah.
sending in not just any military, they're sending in the Muslim military that are sympathizing with Russia. You see why they're gonna go after Israel now.
Yeah. Um, Listen, if you all have any questions, please. I really prefer to limit it to questions because a lot of the information has already been covered, and I don't want to find ourselves repeating what was already said. It would be nice if we could get some questions. That'd be really nice. 1-800-491-9687. If you have a question, please call in. If you have a concern, call in too, but let's try to avoid talking about the things that we already discussed. 1-800-491-9687. 1-800-491-9687. Here's a question right here already. Do you know where 9,000 Afghan refugees were housed after the bad pullout?
Somewhere throughout America.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They're here. They're all here. Now, if you think this has now, this is now, again, and this goes back to, and you said it, Corey, why they opposed the wall. They opposed the wall because the wall would limit severely the slow trickle in influx of people to help take America out on. This is what their Trojan horse got knocked out of commission when he started putting up that wall. He just blocked off their Trojan horse. Now they can take it down or not continue it and allow the Trojan horses to come in. For this occasion, Biden was never going to be strong on Russia. Ever. He had zero plans. If he had ever become strong on Russia earlier on, before any of this happened, when Trump was still a big name in news, when the information got dumped, if he was to decide to dump any information from out of Ukraine, we would actually know about it from something other than Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, other than Russia. Russia would not be the one delivering it. It'd be somebody here delivering it because they'd leak it. There's nobody now of any import to leak that information to. We're all considered what now? Conspiracy theorists, nuts, and insurrectionists. If
I
you
think-
don't think the timing is immaculate, when I tell you the timing is immaculate, it's immaculate. He has planned this almost perfectly.
Yep. It was smooth. I gotta give it to him. He did. I mean, man, it's
He did what America thought they did at the election.
yeah,
He really did.
yeah. He said, I'm gonna teach y'all about that cheating.
Oh my goodness.
So
Now
yeah.
the real implication is what is it going to do to the American economy?
Oh God.
That's when we start to suffer. Is when our
Right.
food and money
Right.
starts to get affected.
I got another question after this call. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, this is Snacks, brothers. I just wanted to call and touch on that point that you made about the invasion problem. That's the one part that I think that people really should take into more consideration, because that's the part that would be scary for us, for any generation, because we don't remember anything since the Civil War where we fought on this soil.
Mhm.
And I think that more people should focus on the fact that if there's three superpowers in a war, that's a very
You muted him.
but
Gosh. Sorry about
What
that, bro.
happened?
No, sorry. Go back a little
Oh.
bit. I made a mistake and muted you.
Oh, okay. What I was saying is, I don't want to say that the possibility of invasion is inevitable, but what I'm saying is that's something that we should think about, because three superpowers, if you have three superpowers in a war, you know, Nazi Germany or just Germany, period, they didn't thought they were going to get invaded, and they got invaded on a mass scale. And I think that people should be more wary of that factor, like you said about Mexico, about Brazil, you know, being able to come to Mexico or whatever. Those are things that we should think about, because we don't know about that. We don't know about fighting wars on our soil, you know?
Yeah, how do we even organize for it?
Well, and that's the thing.
that's
Even if you decided to, if you decided to try and plan on a civilian level a response, you are now considered a threat to the government. They will stop you from defending yourself against the problem they created. That's the problem.
And that's what's worrisome for me, because now I see that, and I hate to sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I think those lockdowns were just like a dress rehearsal of how they would issue the certain policies that we would put in case things like this would happen. It just feels like dress rehearsal before a play.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like they just did that so we can. All right, so if there's a worst case scenario and we went to war unjustly, how would our people react? You know what I mean? That's why I just feel like certain things were put in certain reasons before that. You know, like women being able to fight combat. Now that they know that if we go to a world war, there's going to be a lot of women who are going to try to get out the military. You know, homosexuals being able to join the war. They're going to be the first one to complain about not wanting to go to war. And it just seems like everything is dress rehearsal or planned.
Yeah, it does, man. You're right. You got a good point. You got a good point, man. It's just I think that that the lockdowns had multiple reasons, and that's one of them that we just didn't really see coming. Right. But I'm glad you brought that up. That's something to think about. I mean, actually, they ain't nothing to really think about. It's something to know.
Right, exactly. And that's why I think that they bury a lot of truth in conspiracies. Just to say, like, a person who believes in conspiracies, he's just crazy. But why don't we just investigate them? Because sometimes they make sense. And not saying I believe in it, but I just think that that's how they hide truth.
Just so you know, the FBI and the CIA came up with that term, conspiracy theorists, in order to do exactly that, to hide people under the guise of craziness that were exposing the truth about what they were doing. So people should understand that the whole idea of being a conspiracy theorist is legit. You're talking exactly what's probably exactly happening, but they will call you that. Again, Marxist, very Marxist, accuse your enemy of doing what you yourself are doing.
Exactly.
So they end up winning that way.
Magic. Right. Yeah. But great show, brothers, and that's what I always focus on. I always look for how he did the trick, and that's what it seems like we're doing now. It's like we got to watch Biden because they're actually smart, brilliant what they're doing.
They just evil.
It's like an evil you got to decode.
Yeah, no, they smart. Let me tell you something.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I called this out. I called Biden out, and I'm gonna say it again. I say stuff and people sometimes so please listen carefully because we don't want everybody to twist my words again. It's crazy how they do that. Marlon be laughing at me. Marlon have a field day with me on that. But I've always said this. I like, you know, Biden is low down and rotten and evil. That's the bottom line. But he do this thing where he play dumber than what he is. He playing with us, man.
Right.
Biden is playing with us. All this, half of it is true, but half of it is fake. Because if you look at him, when he getting down and dirty and serious about like stuff like when he talked about when he talked to the so-called black leaders. Remember how clear he was talking?
Quite coherent.
Right.
He was good as Obama.
He memorized the script. Yeah, right. He memorized the script.
No, I don't think it was a script.
He erased that. He talked all kinds of racist crap. Anytime he has to say something racist, he's clear as day.
He's clear. That stuff was coming out of his heart.
He's not senile when he's racist.
No.
He's a racist savant. That's what his body.
Yeah, he's a racist savant. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So So don't let that dude fool us, man. That dude is not
Right.
dumb as he faking, but he's more evil than what he appeared to be. And that's the
Somebody
truth.
come get your drunk ass uncle. That's what it is. Biden reminds me of the drunk uncle at the cookout, telling old ass stories about corn pop. Like that's how I look at it. But yeah, shit. But all right, fellas, great show. I just wanted to come in and say this, and man, keep up the good work, fellas.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother. All good.
Yeah.
That Biden, is something else. That Biden is not as stupid as he's planned, but he's way more evil than what he appeared to be. If we really was to really find out how evil this dude was, it'd probably blow our minds. My God.
Well, if it's anything like his kid, my mind wouldn't be blown.
You say anything like what? His kid?
If it's anything like his kid.
No, he worse than that.
If the theories I heard are true, it wouldn't surprise me anything more past that.
Man, he worse than that. The kid got to catch up. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Don't expose me. How are you guys doing?
We are doing fantastic. Is this Mama Donna?
Okay. Oh, dang! I say don't expose me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So I asked my question. I asked how you all doing.
Good.
I guarantee you. I promise you, there are plenty of sleeper cells here. Okay. I want to say thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands. And the government knows this. Look, let me put it to you this way. They knew 3 months prior to January the 6th what was going to happen. They knew that was going to happen 3 months prior. All that was organized. They let them people break in there like that. Secret Service, all of them knew. I promise you all. I have gotten in trouble pointing out sleeper cells. It's certain stuff I can't say. Any of your audience who have worked for the government know when you lead a government, there are documents you have to sign on. You could be prosecuted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, my emotions is getting the best of me on how this country is fucking us around right here at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to take a hit, but I'm sitting here frustrated. What the hell we gonna do about this?
You know what? You get
know.
Yeah.
We not as safe as they think we are.
Yeah, we never know. You gave us the answer already.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Somebody keep on Marlin Station keep on saying, we the people. It's more we the people than people realize. And yeah, a lot of people gonna die because we're gonna have a lot of our own people fighting us talking about we wrong because they've been brainwashed. Just like what's happening over there. They saying, don't believe it, because it's a group of people that know what all this is about, and they locking them up instantly.
You're getting rid of them.
They removing them.
Yeah.
Right now, we still trying to get the message out. The people don't understand. They think we just sitting around talking. We don't have nothing else to do. Oh, it's something wrong with them.
Yeah, they think we just rambling.
Anytime the president can say, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, when there's a whole lot of black people that didn't vote for him, but they scared to come out because of how they family and everybody are treated.
Yeah.
In the military, we got kids in the military. I have family members in the military.
Yeah, I got a son.
We have kids who joined the military and their parents turned against them because they joined because Trump was in office. What kind of sick stuff is that?
Yeah, that's too sick. Yeah, that's way too sick.
These were kids that wanted to join the military. They 18. They ain't even into politics. They ain't even paying none of that no attention. But because they joined, because Trump was president, they disowned them.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that sickening and evil?
Letters.
Yeah.
They didn't get no letters. They didn't get nothing. I know my son in the military, I would write them, send them little cards.
Right. Right.
So see, this bigger than really what the average American who on your channel think it is. This is some deep stuff, and they sitting here saying, I'm not accusing everybody. They sitting here, wow, this is really interesting. Wow, this is really something. And they don't know. It could be over with for us as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying as soon as tomorrow, not just because of the sleeper cells, but because the people that's our neighbors that's mad at us because of certain choices we make.
Yeah.
They will turn us in for a mask. You think they won't turn if they'll turn you in for a mask wearing problem, you think they won't turn you in if they decide, hey, it's a matter of keeping their version of America alive?
A mask. A mask.
Look, you got, and look how we sell out to our own self because of the flag situation with the kneeling. You got black people. This country ain't did nothing for me. Why you got that flag up? Why you got that? Forget about the fact that a lot of black people went to the service.
That's right.
That flag blown to us. That flag blown to us.
That's right.
You don't let nobody turn you against the flag because it blown to us. And see, that go right back to what I say about the rainbow. It belonged to us.
That's right.
We know why the Lord put that flag up there. And don't nobody see it. And I'm just about to lose my damn mind. And I'm going to hang up now.
Okay. Hold on, Mama Donna. I want to say, okay, have a good day. Listen to because I have something I want to say to you. Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
So Mama Donna, the first thing Mama Donna said, I missed it. She tried to tell me, don't expose her. But this is what I want to say to her. No one can expose you. Everybody here knows who you are.
They know your voice now,
lady. They know your
Sorry.
voice, okay? You have become, it's almost 3 strong because you have become a part of the show. When you call and they hear your voice, everybody knows who you are, and they listen, and we bet not stop you till you finish. So just know that whenever you call, they know who you are. You are Mama Donna. I have officially given you that name. Mama Donna. So but we appreciate your calls. I mean,
if I can't do Hammer Time, just call her up. She'll do it.
Yeah, if we can't get Hammer Time, then we'll call you and we'll call it Mama Donna time. because you're right though, you're correct, and you got everything lined up, and I really appreciated the things that you said about the Holy Spirit and gave due credit to that. So that's a good thing. So I think we can step right in. Well, go ahead, Mark.
I keep reminding people of this, okay? While the global projects have been going on, and we have been in America kind of isolated from the news, the real news, because the agenda for America, like I said, everything else is taking place at a normal pace overseas. The deals, the invasions, all of that has been going on. We just never knew about it because we were the superpower. And there had to be a concerted effort to take us down from the inside out. We couldn't be taken down by an invasion. We couldn't be taken down by sanctions. We couldn't be crippled in an economy on a normal method way. They had to create something to take America out. Look, they literally said this at the WHO said this. The WHO. We can't implement everything we want to implement because America's in the way. George Soros said the same thing. If you have a power as big as America is, you have to start dwindling it. The best way to do it is create infighting. They did that. They started BLM. Then you got to create a different level of infighting with the political realm. They did that. Then you got to create one with the social aspect. They did that. Then you got to create one with the medical aspect. They did that. And now they're going to create one with the religious aspect. And when all of that infighting takes place, you're hosed from as a country. And if you try to assemble, now they brand you as traitorous and an insurrectionist. Now you have no method that's legal for you to operate in. None. They've done a good job.
Here, take this.
Me? I'll take it.
This call is from a federal prison.
Oh, he's calling in. I'm sure that's someone we know.
Yeah, that was my son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh man. All
It's a
right,
great.
man.
It's they did, like I said, Jerome. They did a really good job. Jerome. They did a really good job. They have been placating the left. They have been put this Marxist tactic. Look, this man, if he give him nothing else, Karl Marx was brilliant in his approach. He knew the psyche of evil, and he knew how to cater it to get exactly what he want. He has wanted outside of religion. Karl Marx has probably the most influence over people's minds
Yeah.
today in its method of operation, and it's implemented everywhere a dictatorship is in place.
You all let me say this real fast. And I'm not saying he is a good friend of mine, and I'm not saying this just because he's a friend of mine. I'm saying this because it's real. This guy has been on point, and I've had like plenty of times where I've had to, ask a question, just get some advice on things, and I always call him, and he always like right on point. Check this guy out. It's in the word too. And listen, trust me when I tell you, he's not interested in trying to make money and all that stuff. He is off into the he is delivering God's word. That's all he's interested in, and he is on point. Believe me. So go check him out. It's in the word too. I think he one of his channels got taken down. But if you really want to learn some things and get pointed in the right direction and add to what you already got, go check him out. It's in the word too. Right there. It's right there. His name is Jerome. So check him out. You ready to jump in there, Marlon?
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Regardless of what you believe about Russia, regardless of what you believe about Putin, regardless of what you believe about Biden, regardless of what you think about the global economy and all of that, if you are still hell bent on government saving you, you're going to always be disappointed and you're going to have your priorities misplaced. Governments across the world have one goal: power. None of them are aiming to implement anything of the kingdom at all. It's a power dynamic of fight to see it's a global cat in the bucket, crab in the bucket syndrome. I'm going to kill you to get on top of you, to get on top of you, to get on top of you. I'm going to win at any cost because I want to see what I want done. We are not fighting for this kingdom. We are not trying to maintain this kingdom. We are not even trying to save this human kingdom. We're living for a different kingdom that's not here. It's a spiritual kingdom. When we start to live for the real kingdom, whatever happens on earth won't bug us as much because we're not destroying our kingdom. They want you distracted. They want you to be complacent. They want you to be blind, and they want you to focus on everything but the right thing. Yes, the war is a concern, but if you know your destination, you shouldn't have to worry. Which is why we try to tell people to get right when you can get right. This ain't lasting forever. Neither your life ain't going on for forever. Russia's doing what Russia's doing. America's doing what America's doing. God is doing what God's always been doing, and He ain't stopping doing just because somebody invades somewhere. If you leave this situation with anything at all, is that God's kingdom ain't never gonna get touched by anybody from Russia, China, America, or the UK or the UN. It's untouchable, and it can't be moved, and it can't be shaken.
Thanks, Tyson, for such kind words and encouragement. But I do want to elaborate on this statement. I mostly agree with what you guys are saying. We need more insight and larger voices such as yours to tell Americans and others whom your broadcasts reach what the F is going on. Thank you. You guys have a lot of religious bias that may turn off some people, but for the most part, what you're saying is correct, and I appreciate the context in which you relay your messages. Well, I want to say this about that. You're right. You're 100% correct. Everybody don't want to hear about our religion or talk about our God or how to tie our God into this. But when you are a strong believer in your faith, and you discussing topics, especially the type of topics that we discuss, there is no way possible to leave God out of it. And there's no way possible that we would even want to or desire to. This is our God, and we represent him to the fullest. Just like if somebody was in a gang or something like that, they represent that to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? We can't get off into it may turn some people off, it may turn some people this way or that way. That is not our job. That's between them and God. So we can only reach who we can reach, and this is not for everybody, and we understand that. I think that we speak to a very elite group of people, and those people will be drawn to the channel. Even the trolls, it was meant for them to come here to get something. Believe me, they took something and took it with them, and more than likely they'll be back. We've seen it before. So that's the reason why we speak on God, because we believe in God, we love God, and we're gonna represent God to the fullest every chance we get. Now, we're not going around just preaching to people. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into that, you know what I'm saying? But when we're talking about these kind of topics, I don't see no possible way
Can't avoid it.
to avoid it. It's just not gonna happen. We can avoid politics to a degree, but when it comes to God, it's unavoidable. Let me finish. I appreciate the context in which you relay your message. Thanks, man. Whether people are religious, aka going to church or not, this is the context in which they need to hear this news, right? And for the record, I don't tell people to go to church because I don't go to church. But I am a strong, firm believer and worshiper of God. So that's why I just wanted to bring it up. I just wanted to get that off because I know a lot of people say that from time to time. But that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? We are godly people, and we're gonna speak on it. We love God, and we're gonna represent God to the fullest. That's it. And listen, we understand that this channel is not for everybody, and we have a specific market, and that's what we're shooting for. And believe me, even those people that don't want to be here or
Come
don't
up
believe
anyway.
in God,
They'll show up.
they come. And then you know what they do? They come and they can't leave. And then they end up, it just happened yesterday. They end up talking trash. And at the end of the show, they say, you know what? You're right. Because God is logical. It only makes common sense, right? So yeah, we appreciate that. We appreciate the comment. And again, don't think I'm jumping on you. I really appreciate you making a comment, and I appreciate the compliments and the words of encouragement. Those things are always good, but just kind of letting people know where we stand, and that is what it's going to be, because we're not letting up, and we're going to keep moving this train forward, and we're going to get this thing done. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, the one thing that never changes is we can talk till our faces turn blue, right? But at the end of the day, the number one solution that will never fail you is turning to God. And that's why it's unavoidable to talk about it. Because if we leave that part out, we have done everybody listening injustice, and that's not what we're about. But I said that I had to get that off. But we appreciate everybody for coming. We appreciate if you can like before you leave out and share this video with others. And I think that me and Martin will talk some more, and I think that we're gonna end up covering this at least, every other day, or maybe even every day if necessary. So
It gets worse,
yeah. So let's kind of like be looking for us around 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? If we got more news to bring, but then we'll definitely be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Central Time. Pacific time, I mean.
Pacific time. Yeah.
Pacific time. Pacific. I got to write that time. All right. So we appreciate y'all. And listen, come back and see us tomorrow. We love y'all. Peace. And remember, 2 strong is always better than 1. We out of here.
We tackle the topics America just ain't ready for. 2 strong.